On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering.
Good day, viewers. I invite you to reflect with me on this Lenten reflection, Thursday of the second week of Lent, which titled Putting Your Trust in the Lord. According to Pope Francis, trusting in God means to enter into His design without demanding anything, even accepting that His salvation and help should come to us in a different way from our expectation. Trusting God requires that we live our life in total submission to the will of God. It requires knowing that God knows better than we do, and His thought is different from ours. As recorded in the first reading of today, taken from Jeremiah 17, from verse 5 to 10, which says, "Cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes his flesh his arms, whose heart turned away from the Lord. He is like a shrub in the desert, and shall not see any good grounds. He that dwells in the parched places of the wilderness, in an uninhabited salt land. But blessed are the man who put his trust in the Lord, whose trust is in the Lord our God. He is like a tree planted by the water that sends out its root in the streams, and does not fear when heat comes, for it remains green, and is not anxious in the year of drought, for it does not cease to bear fruit." My dear brothers and sisters, trusting God is not being irresponsible in providing for our own needs and always waiting for manna to fall from heaven. It is not about abandoning our own duty to work and to provide for ourselves and our families, but rather seeing our godly efforts as an act of faith, that is, doing your best and leaving the rest to God. It is not an effort that provided by God, but our efforts is just a necessary act of faith and trusting in God. According to St. Albert the Great, says, "The greater and the more persistence you put your confidence in God, the more abundantly you receive all that you ask." This point is echoed by St. Teresa of Avila, who reassures us that God is full of compassion and never fails to help those who put in trust in Him and those who are afflicted. If they trust in Him alone, as recorded in the Gospel reading of today about the story of the rich man and Lazarus. The rich man eats sumptuously every day, while Lazarus the poor man stayed at the gate and ate whatever that fell from the table. But at last, the poor man Lazarus went to heaven and the rich man went to Hades. The rich man begged Lazarus to dip a finger in the water to cool his tongue. But Lazarus said there is a chasm between him and the rich man. The rich man said, "Please go and tell my brother not to come to this place." But the word of God recorded says that if they could not listen to the prophet saying to the world, they cannot even listen, even when angels fall down from heaven. Brethren, where is your trust? In the weapon, in riches, or in yourself? What else other than God? Just know that all these will fail. Only trust in God that results in everlasting blessings, as recorded in the responsorial psalm of today, which says, "The Lord bless those who put His trust in Him." May God bless His words in our hearts through Christ our Lord.
I will cling